Windows is old, like really old, and over the years they have released a lot of versions, some good, some bad, some really bad. So today we're going on a journey through time. I'm going to try every version of Windows, starting with Windows 1.0, released in 1985. So here we are on Windows 1.0. I mean, it looks old. I don't even understand what's happening here, I'm not gonna lie. Let's click on ABC. Oh, maybe this is like a notepad? Hello, world, file. I don't know why it's not working. Something happened. Oh, and we're back somehow. So there's a whole calculator, there's a calendar. What is card file? I don't know. A clipboard, a clock. I mean, am I the only one, or does this actually look kind of nice? I actually feel like it looks kind of good for some reason. I don't know. It's just so simple. We have a Roman.font. Maybe that's a font. I don't know. Let's actually open it. Cannot run Roman.font. So I think it might just be a font. Now what is reversi.exe? What is this? Is this like a game? Okay, I don't know what just happened, but if I click it, see, it just does this, but if I hold it down, now it works. That is so inconvenient. Okay guys, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how this game works, so I think we're just gonna go back. I do want to try paint though. Wow, this looks old. Wow, this is actually quite good for its time, I feel like, no? I forgot to mention, but I will also be ranking all these versions based on design, features, and personal opinion. Well, for design, even though I kind of like it, it can't be that high. I mean, look at this. It does weirdly feel kind of clean, so that's why I'm actually going to give it a solid 6. Now for features, I mean, it's not that bad, but I think I'm gonna give it a 3. There's nothing really here to do. And for my personal opinion, I mean, for the time, it's not that bad. I'm gonna give it a solid 5. Windows 2.0 is the next version and was released in 1987. All it did was basically just make it run a little more smoothly than the first version. Okay, so now we're in Windows 2.0, and as you can see, nothing has really changed. It seems we do have a few extra options, like PIF. I don't remember that being there. Are these like some kind of program files or word.pif? Cannot find. I think it's a little bit broken, which I mean, we can only expect that. There were probably some performance improvements, but if we're talking about features, I really don't see anything new basically. Now there's a whole clock, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's showing the right time, and yes, I'm recording this at 1 AM. Don't judge me. But overall, it looks basically the same. So for design, I'm gonna give it actually a 5, because it really didn't change from Windows 1.0, and I expect some change, so I'm going to deduct a point. For features, I'm gonna give this a 1. I mean, they basically added nothing. And for personal opinion, I'm gonna give this a 2. I mean, nothing really changed. Windows 3.0 is here, released 3 years later. This was Microsoft's first big hit and really put Windows at the front of operating systems. They added a bunch of hardware stuff that I don't really care about right now, but they did redesign the UI and made it more user-friendly. Windows 3, and we actually have a desktop now. It's actually such a big difference. This now looks a little bit more modern. I mean, we even have icons. Wait, there's a recorder? I have to try this. Let's just name it 123. So we're actually recording right now. That's actually crazy that this was done. I'm actually so surprised. Let's see if the clock looks any different. No, it doesn't. I don't know what I was expecting. The difference between 2 and 3 is actually pretty big. And it looks nice. Could imagine some people actually liking this style on their modern Windows. Wait, oh, you can even click and drag them. That's cool. Let's see what games they have. There is Reversi, which I still don't understand. We have Solitaire even. But honestly, I would say this is a pretty big improvement. I definitely wasn't expecting it to be this modern so early. I'm still recording, by the way. So overall, for design, I'm actually going to give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, it's a huge improvement from the last one, and it actually looks very, very good. For features, I'm gonna give it a 6, and it's mostly carried by the recorder. But other than that, there weren't a lot more features. And for my opinion, I'm gonna give it an 8. I mean, it looks good, it functions somewhat well. Now you might be thinking that these scores are a little bit too high, but I don't care. I actually kind of like this. Now we will take a big jump and move to Windows 98, which was surprisingly released in 1998. And it brought a lot of features: Windows updates, UI improvements, system file checker, and most importantly, Internet Explorer was here. Now we're in Windows 98, and wow, the improvement is crazy. It has been a long time since the third version, but still, finally we have my baby, the Internet Explorer. We also have Minesweeper now, and Pinball. Now what automatically caught my eye is the themes folder. It looks like there's a bunch of themes that you can pick. Let's pick the red one. Will it change anything? I'm guessing it actually did something at the time, just this version is a little bit broken. But wow, this actually looks very modern and quite good in my opinion. We also have My Computer, so we have kind of a file manager going here, it seems. And we can record sound now. But what is 3D pipes? I've seen that somewhere. It's so random but so cool. I mean, it has no real use. I feel like it's just more of a flex, like, yeah, we can do this now. We have also 3D flower box. But overall, I actually like this very much. It's a very big improvement. So good job, Microsoft. So for design, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. But I just love this whole aesthetic, and I've seen people online kind of recreate this Windows 98 aesthetic. So for features, I think I'm gonna give it a solid 9 as well. I mean, we have multiple games, we have these cool animations. I mean, our clock is right here, we don't have to open some application. It seems like the beginning of File Explorer, and in my opinion, I'm gonna give it an 8. Windows XP released in 2001. This is the first Windows that has that modern look. I mean, just look at the wallpaper. It's a classic. Now here we are in Windows XP, and we have the famous wallpaper. Now we have Paint, Minesweeper, Internet Explorer, all the usuals. But now we have also Windows Movie Maker. Now that's an OG one. I remember when I was like 6, editing some random stuff on this. We even have a Messenger and a lot more games. It looks like we have email built in, and it seems like we have a lot more options. We even have a music. Oh, well, it's obviously bugged right now, but we have a music folder. We even have recent documents. And it's definitely giving a 2000s aesthetic. And everything just looks a little bit better and more modern. But I can't open up Internet Explorer, except it's modern Google. I mean, overall, I would say it looks pretty good. I mean, we have a built-in video editor. We can probably record somehow. I mean, this looks nice as well. I don't know what it is about Microsoft, but so far they have been killing the aesthetics part, which I didn't expect. So for design, I'm gonna give it a 7. It's not the best, but it's not bad at all. For features, I mean, we have Movie Maker, we have Messenger, we have email, everything a person will need in the 2000s. So I'm gonna give it a 9 actually. And for my personal opinion, I'm gonna give it a 7. I mean, it looks good, it feels good, but it's not perfect. Windows Vista released the year I was born, and it was Microsoft's first big L, and there are many more to come. It was so slow and buggy that some people just went back to Windows XP. So welcome to Windows Vista. Now I don't know why it's in this weird resolution, I apologize, and I also don't know why it's in Russian. Actually I do know. Basically I accidentally downloaded the Russian ISO, but it's fine. I mean, I tried changing the language, but I just couldn't, I don't know. But apparently this was a very hated version, and this is the first version that I actually have used. I specifically remember these things, which seem to be kind of like widgets. Yeah, look at them, you can drag them around. I actually don't know why this isn't a feature in Windows anymore. I mean, you can still get them through Rainmeter, but you have to download it. Well, this is just built in, so I don't know why they actually canceled these things. Now, from what I understand, people didn't like this version because it was just slow and buggy. Now, I'm not going to be using this for like a whole day to find out if it actually is slow or buggy, and it probably was updated so it wasn't that bad at the end. But this now looks very modern. Like, I could imagine my grandma still having this Windows version on her computer. Now, this is a little bit nostalgic for me. I mean, I'm quite young, so now I can't really test out the features because everything is in Russian, and I don't speak Russian really. I only know a few words, and most of them I learned playing CS, but we have way more detailed settings. I do think the whole aesthetic could be a little bit better, but I know some people really like it. I think there's a whole cult fan base of this style, but again, I just love these widgets. Why did they remove them? But it seems we have all the features of modern Windows. We can watch videos, we can probably record, we have games. Let's play a little bit of chess, shall we? Absolutely destroyed this robot, so easy. For design, I'm going to give it an 8. Even though I said I don't really like this whole aesthetic, I really like the idea of these widgets, I guess you could call them, and that definitely boosts up the score. For features, I'm going to give it a 7. I mean, it looks modern, there's a lot more things to do here. And for my opinion, I'm gonna give it a 4. 2 years later, Windows 7 released, probably the most loved Windows version ever. And in reality, it was just basically Vista, just it actually works now. Now again, the resolution is a bit fucked up, but now this is the real nostalgia for me. I remember so vividly using this version. And at least this time it's in English. But I mean, honestly, it is just an upgraded Windows Vista from what I understand. And I remember these sample videos, oh my god. I remember when I didn't have internet, I would just watch these. Simpler times. Now you can definitely see the similarities between Windows 7 and Vista. Now I'm not gonna hang around here too much, because most of you have probably used Windows 7, but it's an amazing version. I've even seen some people starting to use Windows 7 again as their main operating system, which is kind of crazy and shows how good it is. For design, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. It looks very similar to Vista. It sadly doesn't have those widgets that I was talking about, but it has improved in other areas like the taskbar, for example, and the file manager. For features, I can give it an 8. I mean, I remember when I didn't have internet, I would actually spend hours just playing the mini games here and just looking through all the random stuff in here. And for personal opinion, I think I'm gonna give it a 9. Windows 8. Oh no. I mean, just look at it. Released in 2012, it was met with a lot of backlash. It just looks bad and it uses even worse. Comparing this version to Vista, it makes Vista look amazing. Windows 8. We have this very hated screen. It honestly looks more like a console than a PC. And here we can see where Microsoft started adding useless features like sports and money. If I wanted to know anything about these things, I would just go on Google. And it looks very much like an Xbox, which is kind of understandable because Microsoft owns both of these companies. But it honestly looks like, I don't know, either like a phone or a console, and I really don't like it. Now really, I don't really remember using Windows 8. Maybe it just wasn't that memorable. But during this period, I remember kind of using Windows 7 more. It was on my family computer, so maybe my parents just didn't want to upgrade. But at some point I did use Windows 8 because I vividly remember this screen as a kid. And we also have the Microsoft Store here, which to this day I low-key despise. Like, there's no point in it and it just shows you ads. But overall for design, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. This whole thing is just horrible in my opinion. And it just doesn't look that great. For features, I'm gonna give this a 5. I mean, they did add this whole page with sports, money, news. But again, how many people use this if we're being honest? Most people just look it up on the internet. And for my opinion, I'm gonna give it a 3. I might even prefer Windows Vista. 3 years after the disaster of Windows 8, Windows 10 came in. It brought back that familiar desktop experience, blended it with modern features, and became one of the most widely used and well-received Windows versions ever. And here we are in Windows 10, the operating system that I still use to this day. Yes, I haven't upgraded to Windows 11, because honestly, I really like Windows 10, which might be a little bit controversial. I have heard some people hate on Windows 10, but me personally, I really enjoy it. It's quite stable, unless you get the blue screen of death, and I really haven't had many problems using it. And the main reason why I'm not switching to Windows 11, because I don't really see the point. Windows 10 just does everything I want it to do. The only icks I have for it is the lack of customization, kind of like PewDiePie said in his Linux video. Microsoft kind of treats you like a baby. Now for design, I'm gonna have to give it a 10. I mean, even though there's not a lot of customization, it definitely is a step up from previous versions. And I honestly just like how it looks. I might be a normie to some Linux users, but I don't know, I don't mind. For features, I'm gonna give it a 7. Nothing really that new, some extra helpful settings, but I will never forgive them for taking away some of the games. And for my opinion, as I already mentioned, I really enjoy it, so I'm gonna give it a 9. Windows 11 is the next era for Microsoft, and it is getting some heavy backlash. It just feels unfinished, with some parts looking modern and then some looking like this. And also the amount of ads you get is crazy, but Windows 11 isn't all bad. I would say it looks cleaner and more modern than 10 did, but it's just a little bit worse. For design, I would give it a 10. I mean, it looks very nice. For features, I'm going to give it a 5. Now there are more ads, more useless AI, and nothing really game-changing. And in my opinion, I would give it a 6. It's okay. It was actually quite interesting going through these years and seeing how Windows has changed. If you would like me to do this with macOS, then just comment down below. Anyways, thanks for watching. I would appreciate it if you liked and subscribed, and see you soon.